Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to this Rungta IAS Academy Explainer. If you are gearing up for your GS Paper 3, specifically the Disaster Management section, well, you are in exactly the right place today. We're going to dive deep into urban fire hazards, but we aren't just looking at the fires themselves. We're breaking down the systemic, underlying failures that literally turn our city buildings into death traps. Let's get right into it and build that rock-solid conceptual foundation you need.
We've got a really clear problem-solution framework mapped out for you today. We'll start with the context of these urban fire disasters, break down the infrastructure and evacuation failures, and then tackle this fascinating security versus safety paradox. After that, we'll expose the hidden threat of electrical overloads, before wrapping up with how you can actually apply all this in your mains and interview.
All right, let's jump straight into part one, the context of urban fire disasters.
The foundation of our analysis today is a recent, absolutely crucial report on building hazards. You know, every major fire that tragically claims lives basically exposes a specific set of causative and exacerbating factors. And as serious aspirants, your job is to sharply identify these exact factors. It's like putting together a very grim puzzle.
Now, to really ground this academic discussion in stark reality, we have to look at the human cost. Just recently in Shahidara, East Delhi, 9 people tragically lost their lives. 9. This wasn't just a freak accident, you guys. It was a massive, systemic failure across the board.
And beyond those heartbreaking fatalities, 15 others were rescued, but with grievous injuries. What's absolutely crucial for your analysis here is the building type itself. We are talking about your standard residential stilt plus 4-floor setup, housing 8 different families. So, why did evacuation fail so utterly in such an incredibly common urban structure?
Well, that brings us right to part 2. Infrastructure and evacuation failures.
Let's quickly dissect some key exacerbating factors that you absolutely must memorize for your answers. In Shahidara, the primary issue completely blocked evacuation routes. Then you look at Palam, where 9 lives were lost back in March. Eyewitnesses there reported that the fire service's hydraulic lifts completely malfunctioned, just stopped working. And then consider the Dwarka incident in 2025. Fire engines couldn't even enter the residential society. Why? Because the society's own massive name board was literally blocking the access route. You simply can't make this stuff up.
This leads us perfectly into part 3, which is a brilliant concept for your mains answers, the security versus safety paradox.
The paradox here is it's tragic, honestly. The exact features designed to keep threats out are literally locking residents inside during a crisis. Think about the Shahidara fire. Those fancy electronic locks, they completely failed and could not be opened during the emergency. The terraces were entirely inaccessible. Residents had totally boxed in their buildings and balconies with heavy metallic grills to stop burglars. But consequently, fire service personnel had to waste absolutely precious, life-saving minutes just trying to cut through those same grills to attempt rescues.
Let's peel back another layer now for part 4, the hidden threat of electrical overloads.
You've all heard this on the news during hot summer days, right? People casually blame an AC blast. But what's actually happening behind the walls? Let's walk through this technical failure chain. Step 1, there's a massive, sustained overloading of equipment like air conditioners. Step 2, the internal wiring, which simply wasn't designed for such an immense load, physically burns from the sheer heat. And step 3, the real kicker, the circuit breakers, the one thing designed specifically to trip and protect the system, completely fail to do their job.
That perfectly captures the core administrative and cultural issue we are facing. The entire hierarchy of electrical loads is just totally ignored. And why is that? Because in India, the cultural intent is almost always to keep the equipment running, no matter what. So bypassing that necessary safety feature of tripping an overloaded circuit, it becomes a deliberate, albeit incredibly dangerous choice made in countless households every single day.
So how does all this tie into your actual exam? That's part 5, mains and interview application.
We want to leave you with this really provocative question to ponder. How can city authorities talk so proudly about using high-tech drones and robots to fight fires when the most basic preventative measures, things like accessible terraces, standard wiring, and unblocked access routes for fire engines, are completely ignored? It's a glaring contradiction. Use this thought exercise to formulate a really balanced, forward-looking answer for your upcoming mock interviews. Keep analyzing, keep studying hard, and we will see you right back here in the next explainer.